Hello and welcome, denizens of the multiverse, to Talking is a Free Action, our weekly show where we take a denizen of the material plane and we put them through a little gauntlet of challenge rooms and questions to find out just what makes them tick. Why? Well, because we may or may not be thirsty for knowledge. All knowledge. We're trying to collect all of it. And this week, I am going to be trying to pull knowledge from Frore. Hello, Frore.
Hello.
You seem to be in good spirits, having just been kidnapped.
Feel like I'm just gonna have to figure it out as we go.
Is this your usual approach? You just take things in their stride?
Yeah, always taking information in. Always.
Fair enough. I feel like you're going to be one that I'm going to have to keep an eye on. You seem a little sneaky. Anyway, well, how rude of me. I've not introduced myself. I am the Illusionist, and I represent the Question Masters, your resident benevolent inquisitors. This is my Temple of Truth. I have kidnapped you too. And, dear audience, I have reason to believe that not only do we have Frore here, but he is connected to a higher being known as Michael, or Mike, occasionally. So hopefully throughout this process, we'll also get to know a little bit more about him as well. I can try and contact him through the means of questions. Now, before we begin our trials proper, we must thank our wonderful sponsors and supporters, mustn't we, Frore?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
We know.
the sponsors and supporters. Don't tell me you don't know about Hero Forge and Ultra Pro, Phoenix Dice and Alchemy RPG, Idle Champions, Neverwinter, Eldwood Academy and D&D Beyond.
Oh, this fourth wall breaking's hurting my brain.
Ah, but you do recognize that it's happening. Good, good. This is what we like to hear. So we thank all of our sponsors and supporters, and as well, the D20 Club. Frore, would you like to say anything particular to the D20 Club?
Thank you.
Very good, very good. Yes, we all extend our greatest thank yous to them because nothing would be possible without them. If you would like to be as fabulous as they are, you could join them on Patreon and support us there. Now, if you can't join us in the Temple of Truth Live, you could always listen on your favorite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG. And we're also across these places called social media platforms. There's a Twitter and something about a clock and the like. And you also search for Roll Together RPG there as well. And you may well be here on Twitch, but you could also be watching this afterwards on a place called YouTube as well. So keep an eye out for all of those, and you can find us under the name Roll Together RPG. Well, I must have a word with these little kobold servants of ours at some point, because really it should be the Illusionist's fabulous Temple of Truth. Honestly, they're slacking, my dear. Now, Frore, the Temple of Truth has summoned you. Over the next 55 minutes or so, we'll go through the temple. Do you have a D100 with you, my dear?
Apparently I do.
Ah, excellent. Good. Yes, if you search in your pockets. Great.
Yes.
Marvellous. There it is. Now, that will represent which door you go through. And behind each door is a little challenge to overcome. It might be a puzzle or a monster to deal with, or any sort of challenge. But if at any point you decide, oh no, this is too much, then you can always say, talking is a free action. And then I will pull you out and we will ask a question to Mike instead. Does that sound all right?
If I get to a door, can I pick a new door, or can I call a friend?
Call a friend?
You know, just shout really loud.
Well, you can shout as loud as you like, but myself and the audience are going to be the only ones that hear you.
Okay. So the door I get is the door I get.
Yes.
No second chances.
Unless it's not the door that you get, in which case it's not the door that you get. But you wouldn't know now, would you?
Oh, I see. Clever.
Incidentally, if you were to call a friend, which friend would you call?
That's a tough one. Prosperous would destroy this entire place, but would be good fun to watch.
I think I've heard of Prosperous. I think the Poppet had P on not too long ago. Yes.
Yeah, I feel
Poppet
bad
is still standing though, so maybe this
That's
P is not
impressive.
as powerful as you thought.
No, or Aldrin would see through every single word you're saying, and it'd be almost a fruitless project, eh?
Yes, once again, actually, I do remember my good friend the Fae also invited Aldrin into her chambers and puzzles, the Villa of Veracity, she calls hers, and yet she still stands. And, so all I'm saying is if you think the most powerful people have come through and not been able to see through everything, do you think you have any chance?
No, but I like to be surprised.
Okay. I also like to be surprised, Frore. So we'll see what you've got. Now, I will say that powerful as I am also benevolent as well, as we've already established, but my powers will only last for about 55 minutes or so. After that point, you will be deposited back where you were. You probably won't remember any of this at all, or it'll feel like some kind of odd dream. Where were you pulled from, by the way? What was the last thing that you remember?
Last thing I remember, I was in Blackwater, and there was the entire building was falling on top of us.
Oh dear.
Something. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't
And a
sound very
massive, huge, grotesque maggot.
Lovely. Well, that sounds delightful. I'm sure you'll be thrilled to be sent right back there in just over 50 minutes, won't you?
I mean, you couldn't precipitation me before I go.
Oh, I mean, you can be as clean as you like while you're in here, but it won't apply when you go back.
Right, so all the notes I've just taken about all these extra planar worldly things you said won't come with me either.
Yes, that's my notebook, not yours, in your hand, just so you know. And if at any point I think you're getting too clever, I can just... And the text on the notebook changes to something indecipherable to you.
Oh, I want to sit down with have you got Cypher? I'd love to just decode this. We could do that. That could be my challenge.
We'll see how you do. Roll a dice for me. Frore. That D100.
He'll flick the D100 almost like a coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 72.
Interesting. Okay. So, before you is the Temple of Truth. It's large, vaguely pyramid-shaped, a little bit like a ziggurat. And at the very front of it, there is a massive set of silver double doors with engravings and carvings all over the front of them. As you approach the door and pop your hand on it, would you investigate the door or would you just push it open?
He's going to push it open. Not enter, but just like...
Yeah.
Look through.
As you try and push it, it suddenly kind of pushes back to you and closes again.
Charming. Okay. I'll investigate the door.
Okay. How are you investigating it?
He'll follow the seams, mainly looking at the sort of where the doors words hatchet. No, I can't think of the word now. Where hinge? There we go.
Yeah.
I had a H in my head. Where the hinges sit, and see if there's anything pushing or playing with that. Whether it's glowing enchanted underneath.
It's one of those where the hinges are on the other side of the door to where you are, like a front door where you wouldn't be able to sort of access the hinges from the outside. but you don't see any sort of glowing or anything. Do you have a way of detecting magic?
No, not particularly. Instead, I've got a short sword. And what I'll do is I'll push the door open and then just put the short sword in between and wedge it between the door and the frame and just wedge it so it can't slam shut on me again.
It's a really lovely thought, but as you go to push the door, it doesn't move, but it does that kind of rattling noise. The illusionist is sort of stood behind you going, well, aren't you going to enter?
Well, I'm figuring out the first game first.
Not falling at the first hurdle, are we?
Maybe. Can't bait and switch at all.
I love that.
This is like why I don't know if I'm a problem to Chris or they love it, because I just use all of my skills and things in the total wrong way, and every single time Chris is like, that's really interesting. Maybe.
I mean, you're also a rogue, right? You're a fighter rogue. I will give you this. Like there is a lock.
Ah, it just slammed shut and locked. Okay, I'll just.
It's like big silver
Doors
ring
of the hat,
handles, and then at the center there is a keyhole.
I will flick out a lockpick and attempt to thieves' tools my way through it instead of making it so complicated. That is.
Do you want to roll me a thieves' tools check?
So that is. That is a 9.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
This is the nightmare of any rogue. It's like, this is my thing. This is my jam. Oh no.
Yep.
The mechanism. You go and you put your thieves' tools in and you start fiddling and you're like, oh yeah, I got this. This is just a lock, right? It's just a normal lock. And I think in that moment of sort of underestimating, you just hear a snap and your tool breaks in it. And the illusionist just kind of goes, having trouble?
Performance issues. I don't know if it's, I guess, stage fright, maybe?
It's a common occurrence.
Yeah. I mean, I could just keep trying, or talking is a free action.
There we go. It's the name of the game. Why not?
Because we could make this really boring.
Let's just get another set of thieves' tools out.
Yeah.
Roll again. Roll again. All right. I'll do question. The illusionist sort of snaps her fingers, and suddenly it's Mike. Hi, Mike, and it's Nat. Hi, me.
I didn't jump on that.
It's fine. Okay. So the question, Mike, is: if all of your characters formed a band, who would play what?
Oh. So I'm trying to think who I've got in the role together. We've got Hemlock, Frore, Professor George, my very, very first character from a Wizard
At the Slider House rules. Yeah.
Who else have I got? I think that might
What's the chops? Goth Girl.
Oh, Jamie. How can I forget about Jamie? So I've got 4.
Mm-hmm. A good sized band number.
Yeah. Frore's like all dexterous, so I'd think a keys or guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, definitely screamo up front. Hemlock drums, and Professor George is definitely synths. And he'd be wearing those like big glasses.
Yeah.
The circular fluorescent ones.
Amazing. What kind of? So we've got we've got synths and what kind of band What kind of
Jazz
music?
screamo.
Jazz. Right. Nice.
They keep on saying to Jamie, just sing, you've got a lovely voice, but she's just too angst about it.
Ah! Amazing.
Especially, I think she's in like the Shadowfell or something now. I don't know where she's gone.
Does she have any? Remind me. Jamie is a warlock, isn't she?
A warlock sorcerer.
Warlock sorcerer. So you could definitely have a lot of like very cool effects going on in the background, adding to.
Oh, she's a shadow sorcerer as well, so it'd be epic.
It's like really like emo goth jazz. I love it.
What about you? Your millions of characters. That'd be. How would you do that?
I had this conversation with Tom when I came on this. And I immediately forgot Valka, who I was like playing at the time. But I think there was mostly I had Polly Tartan, who is my bard, was on guitar because she's basically Dolly Parton. And then I had a whole bunch of people singing, and then I had my my Tanuki from Busy Bees was on the drums. I don't know what kind of band it was. It was a lot of noise, is what that band was.
I can picture Viorica wincing already at both of us. Oh gosh.
And then I also I struggled with the very mean question that Tom threw to me, as well as a follow-up, which I'm going to pass on to you, Mike. You are welcome. What would the band be called? This is always such like naming things is the worst.
I think it'd be a straight up like Jamie and the oddly sized. The oddly sized animals, because I'm pretty sure they're all. Oh no, the oddly sized races, because they're all different races. There we go. Jamie and the oddly sized races.
Okay.
It's the best I've got.
Frore is just there being like, oi. What am I to you?
Because for some reason, no matter what I play, I still seem to make them strangely different.
That's part of the joy of D&D, right? It's getting to like poke and prod at all of the different aspects.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, yes, somehow falling into the same tropes every single time.
Well,
but
what is it? No idea is truly original, so all tropes are perfect for exactly that reason. Because they're tropes for a reason.
And it's, you can lean into, if you know a trope well, you can lean into it to find the ways to subvert it, and
absolutely,
that's the story you're doing, which is.
Or you play something so drastically crazy, you don't even know what trope you're trying to do, so you just pick a million.
If Frore was playing keys, what? I mean, if it was just Frore, rather than a band that was influenced by Jamie being
solo artist,
moody at the front, what would Frore be doing music-wise?
On
his own,
like sort of Motown blues, and it'd all be really sort of sad love songs and maybe a bit of folk kicking in as well, and telling like his murder investigation stories, like in sort of traditional folk music where they tell you a story through the song. Because he'd think that's incredibly, unique. Even though there's about 10 other people waiting in a line at the open mic to do the exact same thing.
Let me tell you a ballad of how I am a sad boy.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. Right. Well, with that question answered, roll me another D100, please.
1, 2, 3, back in the room. 36.
36. So yes, you just hear a and in a cloud of smoke, suddenly Frore is in front of the door and the illusionist is staring at him. and just prods the door open. Well, that wasn't hard, was it?
Okay. Appreciate that.
Beyond the door, you see sunshine and grass. Do you go in?
He'll take a knee and like run his hands through the grass, seeing if it's real and appreciating it.
Feels real, smells real.
Oh, this is a nice break from Blackwater.
It's lovely, isn't it? Lovely sunny day. So as you enter further, you see beyond, you can hear like a trickling of water, and then as you sort of keep walking, a river sort of fades into view in this sunny field, and the other side of the river is a guy who is waving at you. Oh, hello. All right.
Hey up.
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Can you give me an hand, please?
Do you need an hand with?
Oh, right, yes. Would help if I told you that. So, here, I've got this, next to you, on your side of the river. If you look next to you, and if you do, suddenly in front of you appears. So I've got my my pet wolf, and my pet goat, and my pet cabbage, and somehow I'm over here and I need them bringing over to me. So here you go. I can push the boat over to you, but could you get them all over to me though? But you can't let the wolf eat the goat or the goat eat the cabbage. And as you look at the boat is only big enough for both you and one other thing at the same time. It's a very big cabbage.
So not eatable.
No.
Okay.
Not physically, at least.
I had not prepared my brain for these clever, clever antics. Let's see.
This doesn't have to be how would Mike solve this. This can be how would Frore solve this.
So the goat will clearly want the cabbage, and the wolf clearly wants the goat. And I need to get them all across.
The wolf is just like sat there, very well behaved, but is like looking at you like,
You definitely eat the goat.
The
I'm trying
cabbage
to
is
see if I
also
can be
looking at you.
clever. Yeah, suspicious cabbage. Oh, I've just made my next character.
Suspicious carriage.
Suspicious.
Cabbage.
I've got my eye for detail to spot hidden creatures or objects. Insightful. Eye for deceit whenever you make a gentleman in there.
You convinced the wolf that the goat is not a goat.
Maybe. I am quite convincing. But there's only space for me and one other.
Yeah.
But I could just push the boat across. So that would leave space for two. But if I put the goat and the wolf on there, they'll definitely eat each other. So I need to...
Well, the goat wouldn't eat the wolf.
No. Or would it?
Or would it?
Now Frore's
Now the goat is also like, meh.
Yeah. Suspicious goat. Right. Let's whack the wolf and the cabbage onto the boat.
The wolf looks disappointed. The cabbage looks angry.
Yeah. But what happens if the cabbage eats the wolf? Right.
Right.
That's fine. Right, I've got a goat on the water side. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just do one after the other. Or can I only go across once?
You can go across more than once.
All right, cool. I'll push those two across, go back, get the wolf, and then get the goat and go across with the goat.
So you've pushed the boat across. The boat is now on the other
swimming
side.
with it.
Oh, you're swimming with it. Okay,
Just
fair
pushing.
enough. Roll me a d20.
It's a 7.
Okay. You're pretty dexterous, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I've got plus 10 or more for saving throws.
Okay, fair enough. As you start swimming in the water, you start to see water snakes, start to swim towards you.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Do they look venomous?
They're
just
swimming
very-
towards you.
Okay.
Do you know snakes?
Probably not.
Then you've no
I
idea.
catch murderers, not
hmm
forests.
Unless they're murdering snakes.
Oh, maybe. I'm just going to carry on for now.
All right. The
Just-
snakes will
Nom nom nom.
they'll swim up to you and they'll start biting you.
Does the bites feel like a problem?
I mean, not to start with, but there's quite a few snakes and there's getting more and more of them.
How far am I? Like past the point of no return?
Not yet.
Cool.
The wolf
I'll
is
bring it
staring
back
at
because
you
that's.
with
You look at the illusionist because that's clearly not the answer. And go back, sort of wring out his jacket and turn around and look. Right.
The illusionist has stood there just making notes in her own notebook, watching.
You'll just take the goat off.
The goat was never in the boat. It was the wolf and the cat.
No, it's the wolf. Take the but if I leave one of the other together, one of them will eat the other while I take the other one across on the boat. Oh wait, no. I'll put the goat onto the boat, take the cabbage off. I will take the goat across, come back.
The farmer's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, good. Thank you, my goat. Great, good. Thanks.
Come back, get the wolf, take that across so that the wolf won't, the goat. Wait, yeah, so I've taken the cabbage. What did I take? Oh, the goat across first. But when I'm on the other side, the goat or the wolf will eat each other, or the cabbage while I'm not there. Oh, the farmer should be. I mean, it's his responsibility to look after them at that point.
Oh, I'm feeling very useless today. I'm just going to stand here like a lemon while you fix my problems for me.
Well, that sounds like a him problem. So Frore is just gonna carry on this path. Take either or across, and then take the other one across and see what butchery happens in the meantime.
As you get to the other side, so you've taken the goat over, and then the wolf has gone over, and as you come back for the cabbage, you're rowing the cabbage across. The cabbage is looking at you with hungry eyes. And sort of licks its a tongue comes out and licks its
Is it a
lips.
mimic cabbage?
I don't know, you'd have to investigate.
Oh. I will use my eye for detail. To spot hidden creatures or objects.
It is a cabbage.
Oh.
I mean, it's pretty
Or
demonic.
slightly disappointed.
As far as cabbages go, this is quite a demonic cabbage, but it's not a mimic. So I don't know if that's better or worse. But as you're rowing, the cabbage is looking hungrier and hungrier. But you get to the other side just in time to scramble out the boat. Find the wolf has eaten both the farmer and the goat, and is just sitting there chewing on a bone and looking very pleased, wagging its tail.
Rory just puts his hands on his lips and it's like, you're not a very good pet. Yeah. Well, looks across to the other side of the river to the illusionist. I was like, I mean, I did it. Didn't succeed.
Good to have to get another goat now. Do you know how hard it is? I mean, farmers, yeah, sure, they're 10 a penny, but do you know how hard it is to get goats these days?
Just look up a mountain.
Do you see a mountain here? Honestly. Anyway, clicks, and a door appears behind you. Through you go, through to the next one. Roll that dice.
All right. Could buy me a drink first.
What, before kidnapping you? How many times have you been kidnapped? That's not how this works.
I thought you knew everything. Do you know what my job was before this?
You were an investigator. You shot things and were sad about it.
Well, I wasn't. Well, I was sad once I remembered what there was to be sad about. Yeah. I was quite happy in the meantime before that. But yeah,
have you been kidnapped before?
Plenty of times.
Right. Then you know.
Thieves don't like it when you start messing around with their, trade route scams and other things.
No, I'm sure they don't. And how many times have they bought you a drink first?
Things can change. It'd be nice one time.
Well, look, roll the dice. Maybe it'll be a bar next time. They'll see.
I did not know that was an option. 4.
A 4? A 4, you say? Interesting. Okay. Right. You push this door open. Immediately, as you open it, it's dark. And then the smell of a roaring fire hits you, and something delicious cooking in a pot. And as your eyes readjust to the new lighting situation, you realize you're in a hut with a thatched roof. There's furniture. It's relatively small, rounded. In the center is a cauldron, and stirring the contents of the cauldron is a hag. Oh, hello, dearie. Welcome.
Hello?
Hello, come in. Close the door behind you. You're letting a draft.
Does it smell suspicious, or does it just smell like stew, the food?
I mean, it smells delicious. Whether that is also suspicious or not is down to you are an investigator. You could do some investigation or some sniffing.
He reads people, so I feel like he'll let the hag talk for now. He'll come down. Is there somewhere nice to sit?
There is, actually. There is a chair, and as you sit down on the chair, you realise that there is a bed just a little further round, and on the bed is Prosperous. Asleep or unconscious, looking rather ill. Oh yes, you've spotted P. Good. I've got an antidote for the terrible poison that P has been fed. What would you give me for it?
Well, if this is what it says in the name, it's an illusion, so I wouldn't need to give you anything because nothing would happen, correct?
How much are you willing to wager that that's the case?
Well, I'll just... Is this not still an illusion? It's straight ask, trying to read into the Illusionist.
The Illusionist can't be seen.
Oh, they're not there anymore. Interesting. You'll look at the hag and ask that same question. Is this not an illusion? And I can use my... What's it called? If I can find it. You'd think after 5 sessions I'd know my character.
So are you on the digital character sheet as well? Because there's a lot of scrolling.
Yeah. ear for deceit.
What does that do?
When I make an insight check, whether to determine whether a creature is lying, I can treat anything lower than a 7 as an 8.
Fair enough. Would you want to make me an insight check on the hag?
Yes, on that question.
On that question specifically?
Yes. Is this not an illusion?
The hag is continuing to stir and stare you down.
31.
Ooh. The hag is being perfectly truthful when she says, "Of course it isn't. He is waiting." But when you look at the room, and indeed the hag herself, there is a slight shimmer and edge to everything.
Oh, okay, right. Well, you can have my life if you need it. You can have my gun. You can have my notebook with all of my previous cases. Well, if you take my life, I guess you get them all, but whatever you
What
want.
would be your most precious thing?
Are we playing a literal or a more, like my feelings or me memories? Because I feel that's pretty permanent.
You've already given up your memories before.
Yeah, to someone incredibly similar to you, but
that suggests that they're not that precious to you if you've already given them up before and got
no,
them
they
back
were,
again.
and I prefer not to because the pain it caused me and many other people was rather unpleasant. But in fact, it might arguably have been the most painful thing I ever gave up because it was torturing my entire soul. So, it's.
But the key there is you gave up a painful memory and not a pleasant one. So the painful memory is not precious to you.
How about my childhood with Prosperous?
You'd give up the memories of that.
To save P, sure.
You wouldn't necessarily feel the same way about P as you do currently if you were to give up your childhood memories.
See, the thing with P is Prosperous weighs on you, like the personality, everything. Like, you don't lose that relationship with P for very long. It always comes
What exactly
back.
is your relationship with P?
Childhood friends. We've always had each other's back. We've been apart for a long time, but that's probably one of the strongest partners I've ever had. In any problem.
Very well, then. And the hag will extend a hand towards your forehead, and you see a silvery stream come out. And just as you feel the edge of that memory fading away, you glance to the side, and you see what was P before is now 3 little creatures under the blankets, just going. But before it disappears completely, you look back and the hag is now just the illusionist, just bops you on the forehead. Very well. Roll again.
Twin, 12.
How are we feeling, Frore? That was a little bit of an intense one. We've gone from something you should have been good at and weren't, to a puzzling thing where you failed, to quite an emotional
you
little
failed, but as far as I'm concerned, I still succeeded.
The goat and the farmer are dead.
Yeah, but that's the farmer's fault, not mine.
But if you split it anyway, how are you feeling? This is about you.
I'm feeling like talking is a free action.
Fair enough. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Avoiding talking about feelings. I see.
Who? No.
What? Never. All right, I will ask you a question instead. What have we got? Okay. What skill would you like? What skill would you most like proficiency in real life?
Let's have a look, shall we? I like seeing people's intentions. So I think it'd have to be insight, because I do like. I'm a bit of a sort of in conversations. I do enjoy kind of sitting back and just sort of people watching and taking in what people are saying and sort of enjoying sort of where people's minds are taking them, especially in like really like intense conversations. That might be something a little deeper than just oh, how's your morning or whatever. I do enjoy sitting back, so actually being able to understand and see a little bit more into the intentions of what people say would be really nice, because even if it's negative or positive, I feel like it's quite nice to know if it's coming from a really nice place but might unintentionally be, oh, that was a bit hurtful, but oh, you meant it in a nice way, so we can figure that one out. But I like that. On the positive side, maybe I don't need to know if someone's being malicious or not. We don't, insightful on the positive people.
Well, I mean, it's also useful if people are trying to pull a fast one and trick you to be able to tell. But yeah, it's good for the more positive side of things. Yeah, fair enough. What would you say that, whether you want it to be or not, what would you say is the skill that you, Mike, are most proficient at? Without any magical bonuses. How good are you with animals?
It could be. I work with animals, so I'd like to think that I'm okay. Yeah, animal handling, and insight is still up there. It potentially even would be an expertise that I'd plop on it, because it is something I do enjoy doing, and I really care, and I'm quite persuasive. I can, but not in like a deceivingly, getting someone to give me something or stuff like that. I am just sort of genuinely like persuasive in positive ways, I like to think.
Coming at things from a more honest.
Honesty, I think,
the logical thing, right?
I can be trusted. I feel like a lot of people trust me. People can.
I feel like that's the kind of thing an untrustworthy person would say, Mike.
Oh, maybe you figured it out. Maybe truly it's deception.
Oh no! What a schemer! What a schemer!
What about you?
Me? Oh no! See, this is not how it works. You're not supposed to throw the questions back at the question master.
It's my favourite thing. It's just like Illusionist, tell me.
No! You broken thing.
Yeah, that was my plan all along.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think insight is up there a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess I am a performer, so performance. Depends on the kind of performance, though. Don't try to get me unicycling. That will not go well. Or juggling.
Yeah.
Not great at juggling.
I'd like to see you try do both at the same time. That is now like on a little wish list.
Sure. I don't think it'd be very entertaining, though, because I wouldn't even get going, I think, is the problem with that.
I feel like you underestimate your power.
Oh. There we go. Persuasion.
Positively.
Some kind of deceptive persuasion.
Yeah.
So sneaky. All right. So the illusionist grabs you back and you are back inside the hut, but the door is on the other side of it. now. Silver door, awaiting. Roll me another D100.
Oh, 88. That must mean something.
I mean, it means as much as all the other numbers. Okay, good. You open the silver door, and the first thing that hits you is again, it's dark, but your eyes are sort of used to that because you're in a darkened hut anyway. There is a warmth coming different from the fire crackling warmth. This is sort of more of a general arid heat. And as you step through, sand crunches beneath your feet. When you were pushing the door open, it had a little bit of push to it because the sand had built up behind it. And then as you walk through, the sky gets brighter and brighter, and you realize that you weren't in a darkened room. You were out in the desert, in the dunes, and then the sun just starts to rise off the distance and the horizon. And as the sun rises, it catches on the golden shining top of a sphinx statue that sits there, paws crossed, waiting. You can see the next door just behind it, and it just waits for Frore to approach.
Yeah, it'll sort of, I'll do that almost skip down the dune that you have to do when you're going down them. Yeah. Sort of skids to the bottom. Hello. Ah.
Hello. Would you like to get past?
Yeah, or we could, sit down and have a cuppa and have a chat.
Oh, you know what? No one's ever asked me that before. They always want to solve my riddle, but that would be quite nice. Have you got a cup of tea on you?
No, I've got a flask of whiskey. Same difference.
Yes, all right. That'll do.
Yeah, passes it across and sort of. Is it sat on a plinth, or is it like just sort of sat in the sand?
It's on it's not a very tall plinth. It's maybe about 4 foot tall, the plinth. So it does have to kind of reach a little bit. But...
if he can, he'll just perch himself on the side of the plinth and look up at the Sphinx, sitting with it.
Do you pass the flask open? Or is it...
Oh,
you just pass the flask?
I feel like the foreigner Sphinx don't have thumbs, so...
It's just like... Oh.
Yeah, he'll pass it up.
Fair enough. And we'll take a drink. What's your deal?
Good question. I don't think I've made any deals with anybody, but I think you're meaning more in a general term. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, no, I meant like, who are you? Why are you here? What do you want?
Well, I don't know why I'm here with the Illusionist. I'm being played with.
Oh, her. Oh, yeah, she's marvelous.
No, yeah, really interesting. Throwing all these interesting, challenges and problems. And I'm just kind of, what? It's kind of like a holiday for me, I can just, relax. I don't have to take it too seriously because really none of it's real. So, instead of having to get stressed and angsty about it, I can just be quite, relaxed. So enjoy, sit with you. I imagine you've got a riddle for me at some point because you're not going to let me just march over to that next door.
No, I do like riddles, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could just have a nice time and then shake hands and I could go on my way. Or we could play a game. It's up to you. I
like the idea of having a nice time, but no, I am legally obliged to ask you a riddle which you must answer. So.
Well, fair enough. And yeah, I mean, I once was a enforcement of the law, so I can't be going and breaking it. Now, just because I don't have a badge anymore.
What's the closest you've ever come to breaking the law?
I don't know. I guess justifiable murder, but some people would...
Murder?
Yeah, sometimes you got to do dirty things to get to the truth. I'm not really like that anymore, but, I did have an angry stage at one point.
Would you murder me if I don't let you through?
No. Like I said, this place ain't real, but I'm also not here to be upsetting people.
I'm real.
Well, fair enough.
Well, how can you say this place isn't real and then just say fair enough to? Oh, but I'm tell me I'm real.
No, I'm sure you are real. The Illusionist made, hints that she takes people and puts them here.
Yes, the Illusionist is great.
Yeah, but you could also be the Illusionist, because I am getting. Don't forget, I'm not here to offend you, but I'm also being screwed with. So, actually understanding what is real and isn't is a little bit complicated.
Do you not enjoy the challenges that you've been posed so far?
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of my mind being messed with. So it's a real, catch-22. It's like a little holiday, enjoying a bit of fun, but I'm also being messed with. So it's like a real.
You like a challenge, but you don't like it if it's a mental challenge or an emotional challenge.
Mentally emotional when you're being tricked. That's usually, when I'm after a serial killer and they've figured out I'm after them. So they start leaving, personal tricks and traps for you. That's when it really gets personal and frustrating, So
but don't you find that part the fun part?
Yeah, no.
But they're paying attention just to you.
Yeah, but people are also dying because of it.
No, that is true.
Morality aside, slightly inconvenient for the general, ticking away of life.
It would be quite inconvenient to die, yes.
But yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you for imparting your moral compass upon me. May I have some more of that whiskey?
No. I mean, why don't you keep hold of it? You never know what might come next. Maybe they might actually be willing to have a conversation.
Maybe so. Well, thank you very much for this. I will. They sort of tuck it behind them a little bit, but it's a bit precarious. There's not that much room on this plinth. And they can't close the lid because, again, no opposable thumbs.
Yeah, try not to get sand in it.
Well, that's all right. I don't mind drinking sand. I am sand.
So,
yes. Oh, right. Okay, this is my favorite part. Okay. What is always old and sometimes new, never sad and sometimes blue, never empty but sometimes full, never pushes but always pulls?
Is it a river?
No.
No. Never pushes, sometimes falls.
Always old, sometimes new, never sad, sometimes blue, never empty but sometimes full, never pushes and always pulls.
Is this a point when I can shout for a friend?
Well, you can try, yes. We are in the desert, though. Do you have any friends that live in the desert?
Not what I know of.
The Sphinx takes another swig of whiskey. The pause accidentally spills
It's such a shame because Frore is really good at this sort of stuff, but Mike always.
That's okay. We'll roll me an intelligence check or a insight, or either of those would work. Well, insight's more about people. Straight intelligence check, or it could be a history check, maybe. Or maybe a nature check.
Let's say 18 on an intelligence check.
There you go. So yeah, as Frore is sitting there pondering, you start fixating on the words new and blue and full, and you start to think, okay, what could be the second word behind each of those? What new something, blue something, full something, and then you suddenly go moon.
Yeah.
So you put it all together. What would you say?
Yeah, I think he'd just he'd take his time, probably roll up a cigarette and light it, and then just sort of like nonchalantly say, I think it's moon. Probably moon. I don't know where I got river from, but I think it might be moon.
Well, rivers can be blue and they can sometimes be full, so I can understand, yes. And as you think of moon, so the rising sun has actually faded into a rising full moon instead. And it's just a really nice sort of pretty sight. You sat on this plinth with this sphinx, and there's sort of the desert leads out all around you. There's lots of stars in the sky and a big full silvery moon casting light, and it's just a really nice little peaceful moment, just chilling with the sphinx. And then the sphinx eventually sort of goes, oh, well, that was lovely, but I shan't keep you much longer. You better be on your way.
I'll go find where the illusionist has gone. Nice to meet you.
And you, take care. What was your name again?
Frore, and yours?
Sphinxy.
Oh, Sphinxy.
Yes, you'd think I'd have a more inventive name than that, but the illusionist sometimes doesn't prepare very well, so...
No, well, on the nose is always the best way.
Yes. Anyway, take care.
And he'll sort of crawl up on all fours up the dune to get to the next door.
And as you open the next door, you see, rather than there being another room there is actually a purple portal. And the illusionist appears next to you. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a nice break. I think we'll call it that.
A nice break. Okay, good. Yes, good. That's what I like to hear. She sort of makes a little note. Nice break. And does a little like a gate tally thing. Does like a gate on one side. Yes, that's positive. Positive feedback. Good. Yes, excellent. Right. Frore, well, thank you so much. And would you want to give a little wave to our audience to say thank you to them?
Does he just look at a wall?
Are you going to see the cameras there? She's just pointing at like the middle of nothing in the air.
You just said a lot of words that I don't understand.
Okay, dear. Well, audience, thank you for joining us for Talking is a Free Action. You can find us here every Friday, 6 till 7 p.m. BST. No. Now then, we're a little bit early this week because there's all sorts of... There's a place called America and a place called the United Kingdom, and they have different times sometimes. So this time, I believe it's 5 p.m. GMT, but next week it will be back to 6 p.m. GMT. Mondays and Tuesdays, it will be 6 till 9 p.m. GMT. We stream our D&D documentaries where you can follow the adventures of people just like Frore here. Frore, I believe the documentary you're part of is called Drowning in Blackwater?
That's the one.
Has there been much drowning?
Very close.
Oh dear. And this is where everything's been collapsing in on you and there's been maggots, yes?
That wasn't where the drowning was. That was another place that was collapsing in on us. Multiple collapsing.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds delightful. You get back to that. We'll see how that ends on Monday. And on Tuesdays, at the moment, we have a campaign called Seeds of Defiance, which is being DM'd by someone called Sean. I'm sure they're very good. All of this you can find here. That's twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can watch it immediately afterwards and on YouTube as well. And remember, we'll be on the podcast apps and thank you very much to all of our D20 club. They're very marvelous. You could be as marvelous as they are by supporting us from as little as one of your local currencies per month. And also we have lots of sponsors and supporters, and they're all marvelous too. Thank you very much to all of those. Frore, do you have any final words or things you'd like to talk about or mention before you step through the portal and go back from whence you came?
Wish me luck.
And as you go to step through the portal, you notice at the top of it, carved in stone, is the ancient question master proverb, always stay classy at the table.